Okay, we'll call this meeting to order, September 19th. And we're going to open the public hearing first. Public hearing on the proposition to override the tax levy limit for fiscal year 2017-2018. This is a local law that we are planning to enact, which will give us the opportunity to override the tax limit if we need to. Primarily, we're concerned with the extra cost for EMS service, of $75,000 more. And we feel that possibly with the current tax levy and underneath the 2% tax limit, we couldn't raise enough revenue to do that. So this law will give us the opportunity to increase that tax limit. It's good for 1 year. And when it's enacted, it doesn't mean we have to use it. It means it could be used. And again, it's to ensure that the residents of Rouses Point have EMS service. That's primary. It's not going to be used for anything else. So we will open in the public hearing. The public has the right to speak. Not necessarily answer questions, but if anyone wants to make any comment, now's the time to do it. Yes, sir, Mr. Rathman.
Just a quick question on it. Isn't it a little premature? I mean, you've got like 4 or 5 months before you actually have to do it.
Well, we appreciate your comment on that, and
I mean, I'm not saying I'm against doing it. I'm just saying the timing of it, it's a little early, isn't it? I mean,
well, any other comments? Okay, now we're going to close the public hearing. And we will go into the regular meeting. And we'll ask for comments from the public on any subject that they'd like to address the board with. Again, we won't do a question and answer, but we will bring it up at the next board meeting. Anybody want to have any comments? Okay, moving on. You all should have copies of the minutes from the previous meeting of December 5th, 2016. If you have reviewed them, I would appreciate a motion to approve those minutes.
Make a motion to approve them.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion's carried. Next, you all have received a copy of the bills. And our assistant treasurer, or deputy treasurer, are there any additions or deletions, ma'am?
No.
No, thank you. I would like a motion to approve payment of those bills.
Motion to pay the bills?
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion's carried. Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have correspondence?
We do. We have a letter from the Rouses Point Fire Department dated December 9th. Dear Mayor and Trustees, the Rouses Point Fire Department respectfully requests permission to apply for the 2016 FEMA Fire Act grant in the amount of $137,302 for the purchase of a turnout gear washer extractor, turnout gear dryer, thermal imaging cameras, 4 gas meters, firefighting turnout gear, and a cardiac monitor. This grant requires 5% of the grant amount, a match of 5% of the grant amount, $137,302. The federal share is equal to $137,764, and the village share is equal to $6,538. Thank you for your attention to this request. Respectfully, Michael LeBlanc.
Okay, gentlemen, I believe we should have a little discussion on that request. We're looking at a grant where it would cost us $6,000, and what was the total that we would receive? 37?
We would receive $137,302, and our share would be $6,538.
Just let people, we might not get it, we might get just one thing out of it. We might get everything out of it, we don't know yet.
The cost would, our
Most of
contribution
it
would vary.
Right,
So if
yes.
we got the whole 137,000, it
6,000.
would be the
Might just get some
6,000.
fire grant, we don't know yet, so. Might be
Okay.
able to get everything.
We we'll have a motion to allow the fire department to apply for this grant.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that will be carried. If you notify the chief that board's approved that, please, thank you. Okay, moving on to mayor's portion of the meeting. It's my pleasure to recommend the appointment of Michael Casey to our zoning board of appeals. We've been fortunate to have him step up and take one of the vacancies on that board. The last meeting, we weren't able to, as I'm told by the clerk, weren't able to complete the meeting. We did not have a quorum. So this is a really important step. So I will appoint him to the zoning board, and I need a motion approving that appointment, please.
Motion to order.
Second? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion's carried. We'll notify Mr. Casey, again, that been approved, and again, thank him. The next item, you received some information from me about, if you recall, we had agreed to go out to bid on a mini loader that was going to be used at the, replace the skid steer that's at the wastewater treatment plant. There was a mix-up in the formulation of the spec sheet for that bid. An attachment for the skid steer, which was a backhoe attachment, was included as part of the items to be bid on, and it should have been. As it turned out, we only received 2 bids, one from New York and one from Vermont. One of them was via email, so that would have had to have been rejected. And the second bid was made without a bid bond, and so that would have had to have been rejected anyway. So what we have to discuss now is moving forward with either re-advertising or re-examining the need for that piece of equipment. Further information has come to light as far as how much use that is required at the wastewater treatment plant for this piece of machinery. We checked with the chief wastewater treatment plant operator, and every other month, it's used for 5 days. Now, obviously, they can use it for other things outside, but it's only the required use of it in the wastewater treatment plant is every other month, 5 days a week. The skid steer that we have up there is the oldest one. We have 3 in the village. The village owns 3 of them. One of them is assigned to the electric department, one is assigned to the Department of Public Works. And those are newer. Traditionally, they've been circulated from, according to age, the oldest one going to the wastewater treatment plant because it is the one that it's used the least. So we have 2 options. We can re-advertise with the correct spec sheet, which would only list the existing skid steer that's at the wastewater treatment plant up for bid, and or we could decide to table this item, not to table it, but just not to move forward on purchasing another piece of equipment at this time if the board doesn't feel that we need it. So we'll open that up to discussion and comment from you guys.
That's what my feeling is. I don't think we need it.
I don't either.
It's a 2000, it's only 16 years old, and if it, when I first voted to replace it or go out to bid, I was under the assumption that it was used on a daily basis, but if it's used, you know,
That's what I-
5 days every 2 months, every other month, that's, I don't agree with replacing it at all. And if anything needs to be replaced, I think Public Works should get one replaced, and we'll give the sewer plant or the old, you know, the one that's gonna be replaced.
Well, there's no need for that right now. There is, again, there's been money put aside for when equipment needs to be purchased for the wastewater treatment plant. And it's not gonna go away if we don't spend it. It'll stay there and roll over to the next budget if there needs to be a purchase of that equipment, so.
And it doesn't have to be used for a skid steer loader or, you know, I mean, that's money can be used for other things.
Yes.
That's right, that's what I think too.
So you don't think we should re-advertise
No,
for, okay,
I think we should,
okay?
for a couple of reasons, it's old, like you said. It's only used, like you said, every 5 days, every other month. I believe they can get a good price for it now. If they can get a good price, the lower they wanna get can be used for the streets in the summer if they need it. Because the ones that got the new building, one's not that old, the one's old, and they don't have the money for a new one. This way, they'll have one to use. And believe that push one, Brian, that push blade you got used on the skid steer, that would work on the new tractor, is that correct?
If it has a quick attach
Yeah.
skid steer in front of it.
I mean, to me, that would be a little bit faster cleaning when they use that on the new tractor instead of the skid steer, and it'll save on the skid steer they got there.
Well, my point is, if they're gonna get I might be wrong on this, but I think the trade-in value was $21,000.
I thought it was 19.
Well,
Yeah, well, some of that-
let's say 20,000, well, if there's $20,000 worth of value in there to somebody, it's still a good usable machine.
Right, but if they get, say, 20 foot now, and say if they wait 4 more years to get another loader, and they plan on putting 5,000 away in this budget now, in case it needs repairs, so you're losing 5,000 off the bat.
I certainly see your point, but I just think there's too many variables right now. But that's only my opinion, and certainly,
In other words, if you can get a good trade in now, why put money away for another 4 years to buy it when you're wasting it if you can get it now for the loader and get nothing for it in 4 years?
Well,
And it can be
if
used on the streets
I
in the
could see-
summer then.
we order, if we had to order it, okay, say their skid steer broke down tomorrow, or whatever, or the sewer plant one, no, probably, I would think about it. But not in this budget, not right now, I don't think so, I think they ought to wait.
It's
like
already
John
in there,
says.
there's money in there to buy it right now.
I know there's money in there, but is that in the regular budget, or is that capital gain budget?
That's the money they put in reserve for it.
well, it'll just roll over for next year, so if it blows
Right.
up, the money's still gonna be in
But
there.
you're losing what you
Right.
can get for it now.
Yeah.
It's like a car, you wait till it dies before you trade it, some do, some don't.
Yeah.
You trade it when you get money for it.
You know, equipment, you usually run it till it's expired. At least, that's the way I do it. Now, other places probably do things differently.
Mr. Mayor, I've had a change of heart as far as getting that piece of equipment. As you're aware of, and I mentioned a few meetings back, that I had talked with John, the mechanic, in getting a piece of dual-use equipment. And that piece of equipment was an articulated loader to be able to use for on our sidewalks, because we have really aging snowplow equipment, and that snowplow equipment is pretty expensive to replace. And also for the sewer plant to use it. I too was not aware of the cycle in which they use that piece of equipment at the sewer plant. And since we can't, we eventually couldn't find any piece of equipment to use on the sidewalks. So it's gone back to just a piece of equipment that's being used at the sewer plant. And I can't give my consent on something in these budget times, or something they use so little. And I'm also for the plan that, I would even go as far as taking that skid steer and the oldest one at the municipal department, trading them both in, and getting one new skid steer to stay at the municipal department that the sewer plant can come down and get at such time that they need it. That's what I would like to do.
You have the money to put in it.
That's what I'm saying, that's I need to know the money angle first. I'm certainly not for the lone new skid steer or loader for just the sewer plant.
Well, it won't be, the street crew can use some also, so it won't be just for the sewer plant.
Right, but as far as money's concerned, and I'm just a money guy, is I was on board with it if we could use it year round. And we could really justify it, but we can't now. Or we can, but
they can hook the blade on it for snow. We can talk about it all night, but just
Yeah, well, no, I mean, hey, everybody needs to get their opinion out there, and as far as using it for snow, there's only a couple of streets you can use it on, from what I'm told. You use it on Main Street, with a lot of
We only
signs,
use
it's
it
not
for
wide enough.
parking lots, that's all we use it for. And we bought it to put on the electric department skid steer. That's what we've been using it on. That's got the newest, that's our newest piece of equipment, and it's very versatile of getting in and out of cars, like over at the parking lot, rather than the big pusher.
I know that our mechanic told me, and Mr. Belkey and our administrator, when he was in the office, he said, when potential bidder came and looked at the current skid steer that's at the wastewater treatment plant, he said, he told him, look, it can work, it can last 6 months, it can last 3 years. He said, I can't predict what it is. I mean, it has the potential to last longer, but it also could go fairly quickly. So what we're down to, and I think there's a consensus, at least 3 out of 4 of you, feel like this is not the proper time to re-advertise, and so we'll just move forward with the present equipment that we have, and then when the time comes, Trustee Dart has come up with one potential purchase scheme. We'd have to see if that could work out. When the time comes to purchase one, we certainly can look through the options. So, I don't believe we need a motion, I just want to make sure, can we all agree then, we'll hold off on re-advertising at this point?
I think we should have a motion, since it was a motion we voted on to get the piece of equipment to begin with.
And we rejected all of the bids though, so
Okay.
it's not there, but we certainly can do that.
That'll
So,
close the issue out, if not, it's just tabled like it is.
okay, go ahead and make.
I'll make a motion that we do not purchase any equipment for the water treatment plant at this time, whether it be a loader or a skid steer or anything.
I'll second that.
Okay, further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I,
Okay, let's have a roll call vote. Trustee Mott?
Aye.
Trustee Trustee Moore?
Wait a second,
You're
no.
voting-
No, I don't want it.
You're voting yes on the
No,
Motion.
I don't want
Well, yes, that on the motion. The motion is not to purchase, so,
it. Aye.
okay. And trustee Moore is nay.
I want.
Trustee Arnold?
Aye.
Trustee Dart?
Aye.
Okay, so the motion not to purchase that is carried. Thank you for your frank discussions. Okay, next item on the agenda. Municipal, well, we have received notification from New York, the governor of New York, that there's going to be an increase in customer bills starting next month for something called the Zero Emission Credit, or ZEC. And that requires that all electric customers pay into a fund. The state will then pay over to the owners of certain nuclear power plants. It'll cost our municipal customers about 3 mils per kilowatt hour, or 3/10 of 1 cent per kilowatt hour. So that, we know, is going to be reflected in our next month's electric bill. So it will go, the rate will go up 3/10 of 1%. There is a second requirement that the state is having called the Renewable Energy Credit, or REC, R-E-C. And that requires customers to pay into a fund. The state will in turn pay over to owners of qualified renewable energy facilities. The cost, now start in 2018, it is not, and beyond, is not finalized, but it looks to be higher than the ZEC payment. And while the ZEC annual cost may increase by maybe another 20% statewide over 4 years, the REC, or Renewable Energy Credit, will have to ramp up considerably to meet the state's announced goals. So we don't have any option on this. This is a mandate from the state government, and they are increasing our rates by 3/10 of 1 cent
Power anyway, never have.
to satisfy the ZEC requirement, and we can look forward in 2018 to even more of an increase for that, and possibly the first one at 0.3% going up each year for the next 4 years. You all received some information on that. Is there anything you want to say about it? It's a unfunded state mandate, so to speak. We don't have.
It has to go on.
Yeah, it's law. Okay, so not the best news, but there we are. Okay, the next item is allocation of hydropower. The NYPA, New York Power Authority, completed a review of municipal and rural electric cooperative industrial economic development program allocations. These are allocations of hydropower that are granted to an electric system that would be to our municipal electric department on behalf of businesses within their service territory in exchange for a commitment of new jobs at the facility. Currently, the IEDP power allocation for Wyatt Air Laboratories was first awarded 8/30/1994 of 70 kilowatt hours. Their compliance review that Wyatt Air's jobs reported was 123 and demand was 4,649 kilowatts, or approximately 100%, and 7,748% of its contractual commitments for jobs during the 2015 compliance reporting period. As of May 2016 capability period, takedown for this program was 30 kilowatts. Since the current compliance level does not support any further takedown, NYPA will be terminating the remaining amount allocated to the Village of Rouses Point on behalf of Wyatt Air Laboratories. So the amount, the allocation contract will be reduced from 70 kilowatts to 30 kilowatts. And it's adjusting their job commitment for this program from Wyatt from 123 to 53 for future NYPA compliance reviews. This power allocation reduction was effective November 1st of this year. So it went down based on 53 employees, and when they close, it's going to go down again. Ostensibly because we won't need as much, and it was based, this program was based solely on those that the business employees. So just another informational item, but another little thing that comes along with the reduction in the workforce at Wyatt. I'd also like to report that we had our fourth quarter water testing results are back, and we have passed that with no problem. And we'll be contacting EPA, who has been monitoring our testing, and asking that we be removed from that monitoring based on our last 2 quarters successful clean tests. And with that, I would move it over to Trustee Moore.
I have nothing.
Trustee Mott.
I have nothing.
Trustee Arnold.
Just a question on, I see they put the new compressor in the water plant,
Yes?
and I hear they're gonna move it again.
I'm going to defer to our Department of Public Works Supervisor. You had some discussions with the engineer?
Yes, we're waiting for the footprint of the water plant, where the
Right.
new pumps are gonna go, where the new panels are gonna go. So we're gonna try to get all the electricals in, away from the water, what we talked about before, the piping. So we have the room, because we're gonna be adding another pump in
Right.
between the filters.
Mm-hmm.
In case they wanna expand the filters, we wanna utilize all the space that we can within that room. So, I got an email from Jen today, and we're talking about steel welded pipes compared to bolt-on ductile iron, and I just want to call her tomorrow and ask them why they're not thinking about doing the bolt-on plastic. There's got to be a reason. So it's mostly, we're waiting for the footprint of, the layout of the whole
Right.
new equipment to readjust, because we only want to move it one time rather
Right.
than,
Okay.
because we're gonna need plenty of room in there for additional, the skid units, alarms, flow meters.
Mhm.
There's gonna be additional equipment for
So
it.
basically, we're waiting for the final floor plan from them.
Right.
And we'll make the adjustments if we go outside with, or in the garage, with it, wherever
Right, yeah.
it works out.
Right.
We discussed that before, putting them both in the garage and stuff.
Yeah, well, the engineer has it now, and
Yeah.
that, Janice from AES,
Yeah,
the engineer that's doing it, so.
okay.
For noise safety and years and everything, wasn't it somebody recommended that both of those compressors be put in a separate room anyways? Just based on that?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wanted to wait or see where everything else went, in case they needed that room for who knows what.
I think initially, you're right, Tom, there was a noise issue.
Right.
And the engineer is looking at all of that stuff, and they're gonna come up with, that's kind of what, that was kind of the layman's plan, but now that the professional engineers are involved, they're gonna come up with a comprehensive layout. Here it is, here's the best layout.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Also, just for information, the fire department had their kids' Christmas party, and they had about 60 kids, I guess, and good fire truck rides and stuff. Good.
All right, thank you, sir. Trustee Dart?
I have nothing other than what we discussed in the executive session, and I also I wanted to wish the residents of Rouses Point a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, thank you for that. That goes for the board, I'm sure. Okay, let's see, other reports. Let's start with Mr. Pelkey. Do you have anything you want to report?
Sure. The electric department finished up the stray voltage testing. Jason actually typed up the whole report while I was out, and I reviewed it today, and we notarized it, and we sent it out today to the PSC, so that's done. If you guys finally notice that the cable along the telephone, or along our streetlight poles are down, the fiber optic that...
On Chapman Street, or?
No, on Lake Street
Lake
right
Street.
here. The one that they put up temporary last year, they took it down Saturday, so that looks nice that that's gone. Street department, we're just doing the cleanup, the maintenance. We're working over on the ramp at the library, we got the basins put in for the new roof, so we've been busy doing some building maintenance and preventive maintenance.
I know for the straight voltage, we had put out a directive that vegetation around the boxes be removed, and I see there have been some compliance with it, but there's still some that weren't, and a couple of residents were like, how come I had to do it, and the other people said, I'm sure in the spring, when time comes around, you guys are gonna continue doing that
Yes.
testing.
We went around and we've been putting some of the labels on the transformers. Some of them have to be reconditioned, repainted. We've been changing some of the transformers when we found that there's been a problem with them. We did eliminate all the vegetation in the front of the transformer, so we can actually open a door and get to them. The ones around the side, we're gonna try to work with the residents to make it.
Okay, great, excellent, thank you for that. Madam Treasurer, do you have anything for us?
I don't.
You don't. And then our administrator?
I'd like to also wish everyone a great Christmas and a safe New Year. Otherwise, it's exciting that the water plant project is finally underway. The designs from the engineer have gone to IEEP for consideration and bidding, so that's good.
Excellent,
The
yeah.
new year will be good for the water plant.
I think the committee's doing a great job on that, working with the engineer. It's going to come to fruition. Our water testing is very positive. Things are improving. They're just going to get better, so. Madam Clerk?
Thank you.
I have nothing.
Okay. All right, I'd like to open the meeting to the public for any other comments you'd like to make. All right, then, we're going to be going into executive session, discussing matters leading to the potential promotion of a particular person. So can I get a motion to?
Motion.
Is there a second?